Nice to hear. Because that is what we want to hear, right? Good. I like it. Then I can do meditation whenever I like, whenever I want. It is not really a purpose of my life, you know. I can do whatever. Because, oh, I am doing meditation, it gives me peace, it gives me calm, and we have our own notions about what meditation is and what meditation can do. And we like, all these conveniences in every aspect of life, just like meditation. But we are not ready to face the truth. Because once we know the truth, we have to do something about it. There is no escape. We cannot ignore. That's why they say ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss because we don't have to do anything about it. But once we know it, then ignoring it is a problem. I don't want to call it a sin, but knowing the truth and ignoring it is the biggest sin, if you ask me. Until I don't know, then it's a blissful thing. Oh, yeah, I meditate every day because I'm very calm, peace. Well, life is beautiful. But once we know what meditation is about, then I cannot avoid it, I cannot ignore it, I cannot let it go. I'm kind of, what do you call? I'm pulling myself to say the truth. Then you are bounded if you hear it. Then I'm tagging you if I tell you the truth. Just like that soul's finding its purpose in that soul movie, meditation is all about the same thing. Meditation is not about peace, calmness, all this healthy life, better control over your life. You can face any situation in your life after you meditate. Or some people think they can stay healthy forever if they meditate because that is their purpose of meditation. Did we lose Cliff? So, see? Sure, he'll rejoin. Yeah. So, it's a touchy thing. I mean, because, that's why they say sweet lies and bitter truth. I don't know why truth has to be bitter. It is bitter because you do have to do something about it once you hear it. No one is telling me say it. Right. So, because, the meditation is all about finding the real self. Not only finding the real self and going beyond the self. Meditation is about finding that essence from where this life has come into the place in the first. Where is this life emerged from? Where am I going? What is the purpose? So it forces you to discover that. Then all the things we know lose its purpose, all the passions lose its purpose. Because now we have found a bigger passion, bigger question. Why? Because now I realize that as a need for my existence. I'm talking in a code language, but I hope I'll make it clear once the thoughts are clear in my mind. But what happens is all this we are thinking about, all this we know, it changes its direction. It becomes a higher dimensional existence once we start knowing things. For an ant crawling over an elephant, it doesn't know it is elephant. For it, it doesn't matter whether it's an elephant or a tiger or a human or a leaf or a tree trunk. Really doesn't matter because it cannot see the big picture. Its ability to see is limited. But for a meditator, the ability to see changes. We can ignore it, but I cannot ignore it once the truth is in my face. So when that happens, then I realize, okay, now I see this big picture. Now I see this, where my life is going. That's where my meditation actually begins. Rather, the spirituality begins. And that too has an end. And my real purpose begins. That too has an end. So, like this, as we progress, there's a point it reaches, now I cannot be separated with my Creator. I and Him are the same. I was talking last week, I do another study of the Indian scriptures with another group. And I've been doing it with them for almost 7-8 months now. And every time the same reading comes, everyone goes around, the same interpretation of that same thing happens. And it's just so happened because of the New Year, Christmas holidays, we took a break and we came to the same topic again. And we went around, everyone told the same thing which they expressed last time. Then I said, what is 1 plus 1? 1 plus 1 is always 2. It is not going to change. And then after a while, 1 plus 1 is 2. That is fixed in your mind. You cannot change the answer. So I said, once you step into the higher dimensions, then 1 plus 1 becomes 1. Then 1 plus 1 becomes 0. Then 1 plus 1 becomes infinity. It has to change. Otherwise, we are fixed. How is 1 plus 1 is 2? Because I and Him are two things. So I am praying and He is blessing. I am sinning, He is forgiving. And I am in trouble, He is saving me. He becomes the savior, He becomes the healer. So now 1 plus 1 is 2. But when I discover the spirituality, I and Him have to become one, then it becomes 1 plus 1 is equal to 1. Then He only remains. That is when 1 plus 1 is definitely 1. Then He and I disappear. Nothing remains. Then 1 plus 1 becomes 0. It's a progression. Then that becomes all pervading. I become all pervading. Then 1 plus 1 become infinity. You add anything to infinity is infinity. You subtract anything from infinity is infinity. Even you subtract infinity minus infinity is infinity. Infinity minus infinity is not 0. You see how the equation is changing. Right? So that is where we are approaching. That is where we are going with this meditation. This calmness and peace and focus, these are all toys. The kids play with the toy. They play with the toy train and they drive the toy cars and they drive. you know, but we have to come out of that. So it's a progression from one state to another state. So there is nothing called a lower state or a higher state. It's a progression from this existence to higher existence and higher existence. When the kid is born, right? There's nothing higher or lower. But the kid has a life and a purpose. As it grows, it finds things. Same thing here. So no one is low or less here, but as we pay more and more attention, this it becomes refined more and more. As it refines, we'll find more and more. But the first step in refinement is to clear out all the impressions, all that we have accumulated. So it's unlearning first. So the regular cleaning helps this unlearning. And deeper cleaning, makes our meditations more and more refined. So I would recommend, also, find some literature online of this heartfulness, or I can send you the links. You can start reading just to enhance this refinement. I won't say understanding. Understanding doesn't do anything again. So understanding is as much as not understanding. Understanding is as much as ignorance. But realization is a different thing. So the books only give certain ideas and information, but we must work upon ourselves. So I'll stop here.